Hello everyone, how are we doing? Are we all right? Who's up for some world-class table tennis? I'm making a huge assumption that that's why you're here this afternoon, right? How many players have we got in the audience today? Come on, there's more of you in there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on behalf of Terry McClernand, MBE, wherever he is, he always hides at the back, as you know, there he is, and everyone associated with this great club, Drumchapel Glasgow Table Tennis Club, a very, very warm welcome here to Drumrye Road for what will be a fantastic weekend of European club table tennis. My name's Johnny, and as a former player here at the club, it's a privilege for me to be with you this weekend. It's the ETTU Cup, ladies and gentlemen. It's the group stages. There are 8 groups being played across Europe this weekend, and one of them is right here in Drumchapel. Players, teams trying to get through to round 2 and then into the knockout stages in a championships, a cup that's been going for nearly 50 years. So it's the tradition of European club table tennis right here in Glasgow this weekend. Do you want to meet the players? Yeah. Do you want to meet the officials? No. We want to meet all of them. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make some noise for the players and the officials. And Scottish welcome the band here, the Kilbracken Pipe Band. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for these guys. Wonderful. So for those of you in the audience who have your program and are astute and on the ball today, you might recognize that we have a lineup of 3 teams in front of us this afternoon. Unfortunately, the 4th team, TT Sud Telecom Verton from Belgium, had some visa problems with their #1 player from Nigeria, so they've had to withdraw. That means that all 3 of these teams will actually progress to round 2. However, these guys will want to do the best they can to get the best position in this group. So just like in football and every other sport, the higher they finish in this group, the better the draw they will get for round 2. So let me introduce the teams from Bosnia and Herzegovina, STK Aladza-A. Introducing the players, Amir Muftic, Feda Yazarevic, Anis Alic, Elvedin Dono, and the coach, Senad Djuragovic. From Austria, UTTF Raiffeisen Ligist. And the players, Christoph Simone, Jie Zhang, Gabor Gerold, and the coach, Robert Sticker, and El Presidente, Johan Egerhardt. And for the team from Drumchapel Glasgow, Craig Howison, Scott Barton, Christopher Main, Richard Main, and Craig Hardy, and the coach, Terry McLernan Jr. And to welcome the officials for the weekend, the referee is Stuart McGowan. And the umpires are Charlie Brown, Kathy Knowles, and Dorothy McFarlane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make some noise and welcome once again all of our players. Thank you, guys. Fantastic stuff. A round of applause for the Gilbert Pipe Band. So, just to explain what will happen next, the schedule for the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, at 2 p.m. now, we're just right into that schedule. It'll be Drumchapel Glasgow versus STK Aladza-A. At 7 p.m. later this evening, Drumchapel Glasgow will once again be in action against UTTF Raiffeisen-Negus. Those are the two matches for tonight. Tomorrow, then we'll see UTTF Raiffeisen-Negus against STK Aladza-A at 10 a.m. Who's ready for some table tennis? Yeah. Wonderful. One last welcome for all the players and the officials, and we'll get the action right underway. Warm welcome to everyone to Drumrye Road here in Drumchapel in Glasgow for what is a group match here in the ETTU Cup, one of the oldest European club table tennis competitions. It's been going for nearly 50 years now, and the stakes are high. All the top clubs in Europe wanting to win this event. Great accolade for the clubs to win this event, and this is group match here, group 5 indeed. There are 8 groups, and this is round 1. 4 teams in theory. We have 3 here in Glasgow this weekend. 1 team from Belgium. TT Sud Telecom Verton having a few issues with visas, so we have a showdown here between STK Aladza from Bosnia and Herzegovina against Drumchapel Glasgow. The other team in the mix, the UTTF Raiffeisen Ligist from Austria. So first match up here, Scott Barton for Drumchapel Glasgow in the black. All black.
Love one.
And from STK Aladza-A here with serve. Feda Radovic. So a great start from Scott here. Goes 3-0 up straight away with a great serve and third ball. Very powerful and positive table tennis to get us underway here.
1-3. That's
a good serve from Feda Jezanovic.
Four-two.
Strong on the service. Scott Barton there. One of his strengths, of course.
Light.
Very positive start here. Pleased with the beginning to this match.
3 sets. Six-four.
Fantastic spin generated though. Very strong forehand, one of the strong points of Scott's game.
5-7.
Nonetheless, positive play, trying to be aggressive in the follow-up with the third ball attack.
5-8. 8-6. Eight, 7.
Here this time on the serve, and now we're close at 8-7. For the man in Drumchapel.
7-9.
Just to mix it up.
8-9.
Nice and controlled, nice tight serve, smooth backhand over the table. 8-9 now. Very nice serve play.
9-0.
Short backspin, second bounce just drifting off the table. Able to accelerate on it. Good service and all scored the business end here in the first game. 9 points all. Advantage with the serve though.
10-9.
Unable to control it. Advantage. Drumchapel Glasgow here in the first game, in the first match.
Game stop Barton, 11-9.
11 points to 9.
Cheers, Dan. Scott Barton serve.
Scott Barton and Drumchapel Glasgow. Always good to
Level.
get off to a good start. First game sets the tone for the day sometimes in these events. Helps relax the crowd, give them positivity, which in turn energizes the players. And that's wonderful touch play around the net
One
from the
love.
left-hander.
Love 2.
And change of spin on the service, really giving Scott an advantage here. And he's off to a nice 2-0 lead. Table
1-2.
tennis for Fidel Rizanovic. Good attacking play, taking the ball at the top of the bounce, ensuring he takes the initiative and keeps it.
Let.
Going for the chop, float service there. Just catches the net. Serving at 1-2. Top edge
2-0.
for Scott there. Not a major mistake, he's still trying to be positive, still trying to attack. Just a slight timing issue, and we're back at 2 points all.
3-2.
Fantastic serve and third ball. Very confident play. A little bit of a pattern emerging here with serve. Good receive though from Janazovic.
3-0.
This time going for the long dig out the forehand of Barton. Barton just falling back a little bit on technique. So floating off the edge of the table. We're back at 3-all.
3-4.
Excellent table tennis, great exchange, forehands and backhands. Both players keen to help get their team off to a great start. Nice serve again from Scott Barton. The kicker this time going long. Named the kicker, of course, because when it bounces up, the opponent tends to top edge it, and that's exactly what happened.
Four, 6.
Nice serve this time from Feda Jezarevic, just disguising the spin there, imparted a lot of backspin on the ball. Scott Barton just misreading. Oh.
7-5.
Just seemed to have clipped the net, sorry, the edge of the table there, hence Scott Barton's apology. So back to Scott Barton now, serving at 7-5, 2-point advantage, and with serve, he'll be feeling confident. And the trend continues with the great tight service from the man from Drumchapel Glasgow. And a great third ball. He's in the driving seat here, 8-5. A great service, changes the spin, this time goes for the backspin service. Feda Jezarevic not just sure what's on the ball, hesitating slightly, making mistakes. He's got to serve well here to keep himself in this second game.
5-10.
Nice positive return from Barton. Gives himself 5 second game points.
10-6.
A little bit jittery at the end of game 2 here, but advantage still with the serve here. Oh, it's a good service. Jezarevic just hesitates slightly there. And the second game is secured 11 points to 7 for Scott Barton. And that gives him a 2-0 lead in this first match. The first overall match in this group, Group 5. And so Scott Barton will be wanting to secure the first match to give Drumchapel Glasgow a good start against STK Aladza-A from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Of course, lots of world-class table tennis to come throughout the afternoon and indeed tomorrow. In Glasgow we're at just about 2:30 in the afternoon, so this is indeed game match 1. The second match tonight will be at 7 o'clock local time, and then the third match will be tomorrow Sunday at local time, 10 a.m. in the morning. Meanwhile, players have had their instructions from their coaches. I wonder what Senad Jurakovic of STK Aladza will have said to Feda Jezarevic. What will he change here? Will he change the tactics? Will he change the spins? Will he change what he's doing? We'll find out, because at the moment, Scott Barton for Drumchapel Glasgow looks more than comfortable. But as we all know in table tennis, anything can happen in a split second. Just an apology there.
Love to.
Good sportsmanship there from Feda Jezarevic. Clearly hit the net and gave himself the advantage. Nice smooth forehand winner though down the line. And so it's 2-0 for the Bosnian, and Barton serving. It's excellent third ball attack. A very, very key point in this match is the ability that Scott Barton has to serve well and follow it in strongly with a third ball. And as you can see there, he's as strong on the forehand side as he is on the backhand side. Clearly, with him favouring his stronger forehand side, his tactics are to try to get the forehand in as often as he can at every opportunity on the backhand side and the forehand side. Of course, takes lots of great footwork, strong legs.
2-3.
And Jezarevic just hesitating slightly when he attacks on his third ball, and perhaps that's the source of the errors he's making at the moment. Very positive stuff from Scott Barton.
Okay.
Nice controlled forehand flick there against the
Timeout.
Yazarevic serve, and indeed Feda Yazarevic, he just calls for timeout there, signals to the umpire, Charlie Brown, that he does indeed want 60 seconds just to take a break. A rule in the International Table Tennis Federation just allows a player 60 seconds to go back to his or her coach, take some advice on board. It's usually done at a moment when the pressure's on and you need some last-ditch input to try to change the outcome of the game. And as we see here, indeed, it's Scott Barton who leads 2-0 in games and 4-2 in points in this third game. So, understandably, Feda Yazarevic wanting to try to stall things slightly. Oh, it's nice from the Bosnian.
4-3.
Smooth forehand down the line. Feda Yazarevic, excellent English. I was talking to him earlier on. He was able to explain his adventurous journey with his team here to Glasgow via Dublin. Not far, of course, from where I'm from. Played many a table tennis match in Dublin. But we're all just glad that the team from STK Aladza-A made it here in time. And Feda Yazarevic, whilst it wasn't the ideal preparation, arriving this morning rather than last night, he's holding his concentration and giving it a real good go here in the third game. Wonderful counter topspin though from Scotland. Crucial point that at 5-4 down. Brings it back to 5-all.
Rally
and a lovely block, parallel, difficult shot to execute, but Feda Yazarevic did it well, just controlling the wrist position in the arm to use the spin from the opponent to push the ball parallel. And again, it's the Barton serve that proves crucial there. Another what we call free point almost. Players these days, a bit like in tennis, like to have as strong a serve as they can, like players in tennis who obviously like to try to win points through aces. Equally in table tennis, if you can force errors on your opponent on the serve, takes the pressure off, helps you win some free points, as it were. But Feda Yazarevic, he's looking much better here in game 3. He's served better. There's the clenched fist.
6-8.
He's got the motivation. He's managed to push himself right through this game here. Timeout was crucial. He's given himself an 8-6 lead here.
6-9.
As sometimes happens when the momentum starts to shift slightly. Errors start to creep in. Scott serving into the net. Serving now at 6-9.
Late.
Topspin serve this time.
9-7.
Yazarevic unable to control the spin. Flicked it off the end of the table, but it's advantage STK Aladza. Yazarevic with the serve at 9-7. Nice flick from Barton though. Put the pressure on the server. He didn't react in time. And so at the business end of game 3, it's Yazarevic at 9-8. Lovely control, flicked it wide out, Yazarevic. Forehand, nice control block, didn't need to go ridiculously strong on it, just place it back, keep it well in the rally, forced the error. And now it's 9-all, and the player from Drumchapel Glasgow with the serve. Ah, it's great table tennis here in Drumchapel Glasgow. ETTU Cup. As Yazarevic fights desperately to get back into this match. He now has game point at 9-10. Oh, it's an error this time on the forehand from Barton. Arguably the first error in this match so far. And it's Fede Jezarevic who takes game 3, 11 points to 9.
I know.
I was going to tell you later.
No, I didn't realise it was on that.
Yeah.
I looked at the board to see if it was. That's good.
So this first match, intriguing now. Fede Jezarevic managing to just sneak game 3. The crowd making noise as the players came back onto the table at the start of this 4th game. Oh, it's good table tennis now, and Jezarevic is really starting to dominate. He's staying close to the table, taking that counter topspin at the top of the bounce, ensuring he keeps Scott under pressure. Let service there. He's serving at 2-0 here, the Bosnian. He's really breaking his way back into this match. Oh, it's unlucky from Scott Barton. That was the right ball to go for the counter topspin. He'd found his distance, blocked the first one close to the table, moved away, went for the counter topspin. Just too long in this instance. 3-0 now. 4-0, and it's a good start from Fede Jezarevic, and he's fighting for this. He was 2-0 down in games. He'll be keen to level at 2-all. Good serve from Scott Barton. Scott currently ranked 1,272 in the world. Still only 18 years old. Huge future ahead of him if he can continue to develop, train hard and improve. He's just gone through a little bit of a sticky period here in this match. Just needs to keep cool. He's played exceptionally well in the first 2 games. Just needs to rekindle that. Nice control this time. Unforced error really from Fede Jezarevic. So Scott Barton now serving at 2-6. It's a great rally. Barton away from the table, forced back, close to the barriers, close to where we're sat here. And so Jezarevic serving at 7-3, and he does the kicker. Just see how that ball jumps on the table there. Fantastic serve from the Bosnian. And Scott Barton just misreading it, kicking off the edge of his bat. 8-3 now. And this is a fine battling performance from the Bosnian. He now leads 9-3. Fede Jezarevic. Nice serve and third ball. Brings it back to 4-9. So 9-5 on the far side with the black shirt and the green shoulder is Feda Jezarovic, and he's serving now at 9-5. Scott Barton here in the foreground in all black. It's another one pulled back, it's now 9-6. Nice. Pressure now shifting back in this fourth game. It's two crucial points for Scott Barton against the serve, and now with his own, he's got a real chance of being back in the mix here. Wonderful serve. Reverse chop service, loaded with backspin. Jezarovic just misreading the amount of spin, pushes it into the net. 8-9 now. Oh, it's unlucky there from Scott Barton. He was trying to create the point, the opportunity to play with acceleration. Nice control from Feda Jezarovic. Just managed to keep control on the block. Gives himself a 2-point advantage now in this, the game 4. At 10 points to 8, 2 serves now. Needs one more point to level this match at 2 games all. Thrilling table tennis for the crowd. Oh, he's erred on the service. He's yet erred on the service, has Feda Jezarovic. It's 10-9. Always intriguing to see what a player does at this stage. Will he go for the short, reliable backspin float services mixture, or will he go for the fast, long one? He's gone for the short float. Scott Barton reads it, accelerates on the forehand. Wonderful table tennis. Levels at 10 points all. Oh, just too long there on the backhand away from the table. Well played from Feda Jezarovic. Stayed close to the table. Played the percentages, didn't try to blast it through to the barriers for a clear winner. Instead played with precision and spin. Oh, so spinny. Excellent ball. Excellent to see spin being imparted on the ball as the opening shot in the rally. Some players sometimes always wanting to go for and only power. And there's an example of where spin can be just as dangerous, difficult to control.
Well,
but that's a positive flick from Feda Jezarovic. At a tense moment in the match, gives himself game point. It's 12-11, and he'll want this one to go 2-2. Oh, I think that might have clipped. I don't know. I think that clipped. I think that might have clipped. Did it clip?
well.
Difficult to see from this angle. It looked as if it jumped, but difficult.
It was there. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was there.
12-all.
Difficult to see at the angle. Umpires didn't see it. Rest didn't see it, so it's 12-all. And it's a controlled receive from Feda Jezarovic. Positive play. Very controlled. Good to see a player getting a little bit of controversy out of the system. And again, it's advantage. Feda Jezarovic serving 13-12. Great service, 14-12. Takes game 4 to level at 2 games all. So what a start in this Group 5 Round 1 match here in Drumchapel Glasgow. First match up, Feda Jezarevic here with the ball in black with the green shoulder against Drumchapel Glasgow's Scott Barton on the far side. It's 2 games all now. And this is the decider. And it's Scott Barton who wins the first point, moving away from the table. A little bit of an error from Feda Jezarevic. But the crowd don't mind. Every point won now, so important. Oh, it's great table tennis. Scott Barton just holding his own there on the block. That'll give him confidence. He's lost the last 2 games, remember. Really, really tight, 11-9 and 14-12. So a good start, which he has had here in game 5, the decider. Crucial for the confidence. He needs to have this serve and third ball, though, watertight. And there you go again. Another reasonably free point. Great service. Trademark of his, an aggressive serve. Has been Scottish cadet and junior champion, of course, in the past. Plays in the British League and in the Grand Prix circuit here up and down the country in the UK, and in fact has been on fine form of recent months. Can he secure the first rubber, the first match in the overall match here? He's certainly off to a decent start. Feda Jezarevic just lost a little bit of the rhythm that we saw in the last 2 games. Feda Jezarevic receiving here, telling me earlier that he works as an engineer back in his home country. Plays his club table tennis and trains in Sarajevo. And he's currently ranked around number 10 in Bosnia, so an accomplished player. And good play there too from him, but at the moment it's still advantage Barton here. He leads 5-3, service with the Bosnian. A little bit hesitant there. Scott was a little bit more free-flowing in the first and second game, and at that crucial point, Terry McLernan Jr. there, the coach, just calls timeout. Each player, of course, allowed 1 timeout per match, so that is both timeouts now used. Was very effective for Feda Jezarevic when he took his in game 3. That was a game that was close, and at the time of timeout, Jezarevic took his advice from his coach, and that may well have made the difference. 11-9 in that game. And there's Barton just taking a little bit of advice from Terry. High fives, good positive body language, always good to see. Focused on the task in hand. Service with Jezarevic. 4-5 here in this 5th game decider. Crucial for both teams to get off to a positive start here. Oh, Scott Barton retrieves it from the back of the barriers. I thought he was going to land on our knees there. Jack, Seth and Andy sat alongside me here. We thought we might have had Scott Barton to wrestle with there as he came pounding towards the bounder. The barriers, he now serving at 6 points to 4. Good position here for the player from Drumchapel Glasgow. Needs 2 good serves, 2 good sequences. Oh, it's a good one. It's a key point, that. 7-4. Closing in. Oh, it's well played from Feda Jezarevic. Controlled the block.
5-7.
And then accelerated for the winner. Great table tennis, great start to the weekend here. Fully appreciated by the crowd. Of course, we're sat in the city which will host the 2014 Commonwealth Games. Table tennis, of course, a key sport in the Commonwealth Games. I've played twice in them myself, 2002 Manchester, 2006 Melbourne. What a fantastic opportunity for Glasgow. Whoa, what a flick. What a fantastic opportunity for these players at Drumchapel Glasgow to be part of that Commonwealth Games for their country. This is great experience. And Scott Barton is being tested here, of course. He's dealing with it very, very well. With service now in game 5. 8.6. Just an error there, that's a fault. So 8-7. Just has to relax. It's natural to get nervous at this stage. Just trust in all that training. And the forehand just breaking down this time. It's been reliable all the way through the match. But fair play to Feda Jezarovic. He has hung in here. He's now serving at 8-all. Oh, it's a nice receive from Scott Barton. A little bit of a float serve from Jezarovic. Well controlled from Scott Barton there. That'll give him confidence. Oh, it's a change of serve from Jezarovic. He'd been serving into Scott Barton's forehand. This time he changed it, went fast down the Barton backhand. So a crucial tactical change there from the Bosnian at a crucial time. It's 9-all, 2-all. A little bit of an advantage though for Scott here with serve. If he can serve well and follow it in strongly with that forehand, he'll give himself every chance here.
9-10.
But another fault, unfortunately, means that it's match point for Jezarovic. But Scott has one more serve. One more serve. Play himself back into it. Oh, it's a bouncy serve. And Feda Jezarovic accelerates on the long serve, generates the spin. Was a little bouncy. Scott Barton unable to control it. As the players shake hands with the opposite teams, it's Feda Jezarovic who secures a fantastic first match here, 3-2, and it's STK Aladza-A who take a 1-0 lead. More action coming right up. confirmation then. Score in game one, fantastically close encounter, but it's Feda Jazarevic of STK Aladza-A from Bosnia and Herzegovina who secured it 3-2 against Drumchapel Glasgow's Scott Barton. A great game, great entertainment for the crowd. But it is STK Aladza-A who take a 1-0 lead. As on court now, warming up, we have Amer Muftic and Craig Howison. So close encounter gets underway. Every one of these matches crucial. It's a Swithing Cup format here, so it's 5 singles matches, and it's the team to win 3 singles first who will be victorious. So Amer Muftic there, he'll be looking to continue the lead, and Craig Howison on the left in the all-black shirt of Drumchapel Glasgow will be looking to level the match. Craig is 23 years old, very much an all-rounder in terms of his style of play. Good service, third ball attack, imparts a lot of spin on the ball. Nice and solid on the backhand side as well, and pretty solid too when the ball is in a full exchange in rallies. So let's see how this second match starts here. Let's see how Craig starts too. Amer Muftic with the service. It's good table tennis. Nice movement from Amer Muftic away from the table. Very solid though from Craig Howison. Moving from backhand side, wide out his forehand, recovering well with a very spinny backhand. Created himself the opportunity to accelerate, create the winner. It's a nice service too from the Drumchapel player. So as is usually the case, first game, just an opportunity to work your way into the match. Both players making the odd unforced error, just finding their rhythm, sussing each other out, finding out which way they serve, which way they move, which side they prefer, whether it's a forehand or a backhand preference for each of the players. Both just sussing each other out, a little bit like in a boxing match, just trying to work out the style of each player. But it's the player from Drumchapel Glasgow who has a slight advantage, and he's been aggressive against the serve there. Amer Muftic just serving a little bit long, giving Craig the opportunity to accelerate, and he does so. well executed forehand topspin, puts the pressure back onto the Bosnian, gives himself a 7-3 lead here. Good start. That's an excellent service. Difficult there for Amir Muftic to see the spin that Craig Howison is imparting on the ball. Very good disguise in terms of whether it's lots of spin or no spin. That's unlucky. Nice third ball on the backhand. Good percentages, good spin, well positioned on the side of the table against Amir Muftic, right in the middle, gives him difficulty. He blocked it back in this occasion. Definitely favours the backhand side here, the Bosnian. See how he moved round after the service there. Not unlike how I used to play. Backhand serve, follow with a backhand topspin. Maybe that's something for Craig to exploit though. And that's a great tactic. Either attack that backhand fast, because if it is his preferred side, you want to limit the time he has to accelerate and take the initiative. And then really mix it up into his forehand. Quite a stiff technique from the Bosnian on the forehand. There we see it again. That's a great attack from Craig Howison to secure the first game. 11-4. And that for me is a very clear tactic. If Craig can stay aggressive into Muftic's backhand and then vary the spins out the Bosnian's forehand, he'll be in a very comfortable position indeed. Just fantastic to be back here at Drumchapel Glasgow for me. I used to play here and had some great matches right here in this venue. Super venue, well supported club, very well run by Terry McLernan, MBE, and his son and all the team. I could start to name names, but I would forget somebody because such is the support here at the club. One of the biggest clubs in Scotland, of course, if not Britain, and in fact the only British team entered in this year's ETTU Cup, so very much flying the flag. Drumchapel Glasgow and flying the flag on court right now. Craig Howison getting off to a good start here. Just a little bit rushed on the backhand, just needs to take his time. Amir Muftic, not an aggressive player, so Craig shouldn't feel the pressure to try to force winners. I think if he plays just like that spin, he'll force Muftic away from the table. And that, I think, will be the end result more times than not. A comfortably 1 point. So for me, if Craig can just stay steady and relaxed and compact. Wonderful play. Well constructed. Nice spins on the backhand. Just created the opportunity. Good footwork round the backhand side and accelerated to play the winner. And this is good stuff from the Drumchapel player. Serving now at 3-1. And there's another good point. Arguably, we saw signs there of what I would say would be Muftic's strong points. Away from the table, using the backhand to spin it up. Well controlled from Craig. But he doesn't want Muftic to get into too much rhythm on the backhand. Keep varying it. There we go, out the forehand. There's the Muftic backhand. He's very relaxed on the backhand side for sure. Craig Howison just needs to be wary of that one for me. Good attack into the backhand, put that backhand under pressure, and then vary the spins out the forehand side. Still comfortable at the moment. Muftic serving at 2-4. There's the backhand over the table. Excellent execution. Acceleration over the table. Right round on the forehand side he was there. Not often coached in the coaching manual. But if the player's stronger on the backhand side, then a backhand serve followed by a backhand is often a very strong tactic. A couple of unforced errors, and there we'll see very clearly on the scoreboard under the flags of the countries of the 4 clubs who were due to be represented here. The club from Belgium, unfortunately, unable to be with us. But Amir Muftic is certainly playing his way back into this match. From 4-2, he's now 6-4. And with serve, and no surprise, it's the backhand serve. He'll be looking for the backhand topspin. Error this time. Again, the favoured backhand serve. That's a nice variation from Craig Howison though. Unlucky, unlucky. Nice variation on the receive. Coach will be happy with that. He's trying to vary it. He doesn't want to fall into the regularity of receiving to the same place because Amir Muftic will continue to get the backhand in. So that was a nice flick out the forehand. Didn't win the point. Yeah, well played. Nice serve. Nice counter topspin. So 1 serve of 2 remaining at 6-7. It's a nice receive there from the Bosnian. Just broke the wrist, played a nice push shot into the backhand of Craig Howison. And now back with a backhand serve. He looked for the backhand again. Nice receive from Craig Howison. Changed it this time. He'd received a couple of times wide out the forehand. That time short in the backhand, and that's crucial. Vary that receive. Don't let Muftic dominate with that backhand topspin. So back to Howison at 7-9. That's a lovely spin to follow up a nice tight service, well constructed point. That'll give him confidence. Nice straightforward point. Solid technique. Good result. 1 more serve left. 8-9. This time the forehand topspin comes into play. Difference between these 2 players. Craig Howison more than happy to topspin aggressively on both sides, forehand and backhand. Amir Muftic a little bit more reluctant to topspin really hard on the forehand side. That's got to be something again for Craig to exploit. Amir Muftic once again with a backhand serve, and once again will look for the backhand topspin. It's an excellent receive from Craig Howison. The ball just drifting along on the serve. Craig spins it up, therefore putting Muftic under pressure and therefore not able to accelerate as he would have wanted to. But there was still work to do, and Craig had that last forehand to accelerate to create the winner. Oh! This time it's Muftic with the forehand over the table. Encouragement from the team from STK Aladza, making some noise. Back to Howison though. 10-all. Second game. Oh, it's aggressive table tennis. Great service. Not a bad receive from Muftic. Was looking to take the initiative just a little bit high. Allowed Howison to accelerate hard. Gives himself game point here. 10-11. Slightly topspin serve from the Bosnian, and the Drumchapel team member just popping it slightly. So honours even, 11 points all. Oh, it's a lovely backhand. Nice and early, nice and spinny, difficult to control for the opponent. And Howison once again. Game point. This would give him a 2-0 lead. Unlucky. A nice flick. Amir Muftic came back well. Oh, and another tactical timeout called from STK Aladza-A. 12 all. Second game. Clearly they think that this is a crucial time in the match. They don't want their player to go 2-0 down, but instead want him to level at 1 game all. So 12 all, crucial moments. As we just see on screen there, Craig Howison just taking on advice from Terry and just taking on a little bit of water. Sometimes not a moment to give too much technical or tactical information. You've only got 60 seconds, so a coach has to be tuned in to what's the key thing to impart in the conversation. And it of course depends on the players. Some players just need encouragement, motivation, focus. Other players like to listen to the tactics again. Short serve, spinny third ball. Let's see what happens now. 12 all. Beautiful serve, beautiful spinny third ball. And so Craig Howison comes back from the timeout and secures the first point to give him yet another game point at 13-12. Has to receive the Muftic serve though. Does so well. Wins the rally to secure the second game. 14-12 to go into a lead of 2-0. So the action underway, game 3. Fascinating stuff here at Drumrai Road in Drumchapel. It's a Group 5 match here in round 1 of the ETTU Cup. First matchup of the weekend, STK Aladza-A from Bosnia and Herzegovina against Drumchapel Glasgow. And Craig Howison has got off to a great start in this match, leads 2-0, serving here at 2-1 in game 3. But just like we saw in the first match between Feda Jezarovic and Scott Barton, the Bosnian players haven't come to Glasgow to make up the numbers. They're here to qualify in as high a position as they can to go through to round 2. And Amir Muftic is certainly wanting to bring himself back into this match, just like Feda Jezarovic did, winning the last 3 games, Feda Jezarovic. But so far, Craig Howison appears to have other plans. It's a good start from the Drumchapel player, serving at 4-2 now. That's good play. He's serving well and he's following it in strongly with some very spinny forehand and backhand topspins. It's a great serve and a great power shot this time. If you have the tools in the bag to vary it like Craig Howison does, some with spin, some with speed, then you're always going to be hard to handle. Amer Muftic just changes the serve there, goes with the forehand high toss, just drifts slightly. Good footwork from Howison to get round on the backhand side, play that attacking forehand shot, and he's a very comfortable position here now, 2-7. That's a great flick. He's steaming now to a victory here, Craig Howison, stamping his authority in this match. Lovely backhand flick followed by a great counter topspin. This time it's Craig to change the serve. He's going backhand, serving at 8-2. It's good stuff. Positive table tennis here. And is he edging close to levelling the match here at 1 match all? He's serving at 9-2 and 2-0. Oh, lovely kicking forehand topspin from Amer Muftic. It's all or nothing almost from the back of the court here for the Bosnian. But he's up against it here. He's got a hill to climb, a mountain you might say. His two serves now at 3-9. Trails 2-0 in games. So 3-10, match point, 7 of them. Takes the first one. A little bit of luck on the net, hence the acknowledgement with the racket from Craig Howison, but too strong. Craig secures the match 3-0 and levels the overall match at 1 match all between STK Aladza-A from Bosnia Herzegovina and Drumchapel Glasgow. And once again, confirmation on screen of the last match. Fantastic performance from Craig Howison there from Drumchapel Glasgow, winning 3-0 against Amer Muftic of STK Aladza-A. There are the scores: 11-4, 14-12, and comfortably in game 3, 11-3. That levels the overall match here at 1 match all. And warming up for their 2 minutes practice is Anas Alic for STK Aladza-A and Christopher Meehan for Drumchapel Glasgow. So all to play for here at Drumrye Road in Drumchapel, home of course of Drumchapel Glasgow Table Tennis Club, a club that will celebrate its 25th birthday next year. Its head man Terry McClernand, awarded an MBE a couple of years ago for all his efforts here in the local community, using table tennis to engage boys and girls around Drumchapel, to give them the opportunity to play a sport in a fun environment, to learn new skills, and to travel the world. Terry has taken them to many, many countries. In fact, some of them are just back from a trip in August to Ostend, where they played in a famous tournament. And of course, for those of you who may have seen the website, and please go and have a look at all the details on the website, will have seen that Will and Kate were actually in Drumchapel, and some of the players from the club had the opportunity to play against the Prince. So very much on the map, this club. Politicians have been here. I think some of them have also played David Cameron, and I think more is to follow as this great city gears up for the Commonwealth Games, which kick off on the 23rd of July next year, going through to the 3rd of August. And table tennis features very, very prominently in that. Table tennis is from the 24th of July through to the 2nd of August, so virtually the entirety of the Commonwealth Games, as Chris Main gets us underway here in match 3.
Love 1.
So a reasonable start there now for the Bosnian player. Nice forehand there from Chris Main. Slightly nervy start, but that's to be expected in front of the crowd here in the club. And of course, first match on, in a very important match at that, at one match apiece in the overall match. Important just to play into the game as soon as you can, find your rhythm, find your movement, execute your serves and receives. So an error there from levels the score at 4-all. Service back to Chris Main. Chris currently ranked number 8 in Scotland, 25 years old. Free flowing, left-handed topspin player there. Excellent forehand. Starting to find his rhythm here, which is a good sign for the local support. Second serve of 2, 5-4. That's a good sequence of points now from Chris. Service is back to Anas Alic, 4-7, one more left from the Bosnian. Goes for the backspin this time into the left-handed forehand receive. So back to Chris at 7-5. Alic looks to prefer the backhand also, a bit like his teammate Amir Muftic, who we saw in the last match. Seems to favour the backhand side. Watch how he's positioning himself in the middle of the table. He'll go in with the backhand here on the receive. Oh, played the forehand that time. Good mix from Chris Main, just serving a little bit wider to force Anas Alic to play that forehand receive. That's good play from the Bosnian. Slow spins to create the opportunity to accelerate in behind. Oh, it's a great rally. Well done. Stayed composed there, Chris Main. Didn't panic. Nice control, composure. Played the winner. 9-7 now with service. Good opportunity here. Needs a good serve, good third ball. Take the initiative. That's well played from Anas Alic. That was a fantastic receive. Played a fast long push, caught Chris Main off guard. And from there, it was all for Alic to take, which he did. Crucial point at the business end of this game, 9-7. It's aggressive table tennis. That's what you want from your player at a crucial moment in any match, in any sport. And Chris Main executes with precision, gives himself 2 game points in this opening game. The winner of this match will be in a great position in the overall match. And he does it. 11 points to 8. That's a good long aggressive push on the receive. And Anas Alic unable to react in sufficient time to get his backhand flowing through that third ball opener. Well done, Chris Main. That was a nervy start, but to be expected. Solid through the middle of the game and a good strong finish to give himself a 1-0 lead. And the atmosphere now starting to gear up. Players back from their 2-minute coaching, back ready for game 2. Nice spin from Anas Alic. Slight variation on what he did through the first game. On the forehand side, nice spinny forehand, but look, favours the backhand receive as he moves round to the middle of the table. Chris is doing well there to force him to receive on the forehand side. That's good play from Chris Main. Evenly matched at the beginning of game 2 here. 2 games all, 2 points all. Fortunate, just clips the net and rolls over. But an apology from Anas Alic. Serving at 3-2. And again, that whippy backhand that he has, creating a lot of spin, creating a bit of pressure for Chris Main. Nice constructed point there. Keeps himself within 2 points here. Alic with a serve at 5-3. Oh, it's a good service. Chris Main there just hesitating slightly. Good service from Anas Alic. Chris unsure whether the ball was coming long or not. Didn't know whether he could accelerate or not. And again, it's the backhand from Alic that's generating the spin and causing the problems here. Advantage back to Chris here. Refocus, play his game. Exactly like that. Great stuff from the left-hander. Went with the float service. The Bosnian just popping it slightly, and a great smooth swing on the forehand side for the winner. Key point, this one. Oh, it's a lovely service. Variation there from Chris Meehan. Fast service down the line has caught Anas Alic off guard. But it's he with the serve now at 7-5. Chris just needs to stay calm, watch the ball. If it's coming long, go for the spin himself, give himself the opportunity to be the aggressor in the rally. And if it's short, nice receive. He's done that well. Oh, a little bit of a net. Oh, he's done well there, has Chris. The ball clipped the net there from Anas Alic, but Chris was equal to it. Stuck into the rally. Played a lob that landed right in the corner. Forced Alic to lob it off the end. So he's right back in this, Chris. 7-6, 3 points in a row. It's unlucky. Variation from Alic was a long serve into the crossover point of Chris Meehan. Just couldn't spin it up. Just clips the top of the net and goes out. But he's back in it here. 6-8 with the serve advantage. That's a lovely variation. Went for the kicker. Just jumped up. But Anas Alic, as he came in to flick it. Great service, 7-8. Oh, another wonderful service. Topspin service this time. Anas Alic not really reading the amount of spin, just pops it slightly. Gives Chris Meehan the opportunity to come in with a good strong third ball. That's a good sequence. He'll have confidence here now. He just needs to stay nice and subtle in the wrist here on the receive. That's unlucky. Went for the counter topspin over the table. Nothing wrong with that. It was there for the taking. Oh, it's great control from Chris Meehan over the table. Beautiful feeling on the backhand and forehand sides. Contains his Bosnian opponent. Very easy for players to get excited in that moment and go for the ridiculous counter topspin that's really impossible. But Chris Meehan stayed cool as a cucumber there. Absorbed the pressure. And now it's he who's serving it. 9-all. Great opportunity here for the Drumchapel player with the serve. Oh, it's a great float serve and a third ball attack. He's on a roll here. This will be a great game to win, having trailed 3-7. He's now 10-9. That's a great variation of serves, and that's got to be a key point for Chris. He'll remember that as he secures game 2, 11-9. He'll realise that the variation in what he did there on the service was fantastic. The defining factor. Nice topspin kickers along with backspin and float serves. Able to follow in with great topspins to keep Anas Alic under pressure. So straight back into the action. It's Chris Meehan with the serve, and he started well. He's varied it once again. He's gone long this time with topspin cross court. He's really mixing it up now. Anas Alic doesn't know which way he's going. Very good from Chris Meehan. Very, very solid. He's 2-love up in games, 2-love up in points here. And it's a good start. So timeout has been used now by Anas Alic. What will his coach have said at 3-0 down in game 3? Let's see what he does now on the table. Has he changed? Good receive from Chris May. A nice solid start, 4-0. This is good stuff from the Drumchapel Glasgow player. With service now, a real opportunity to start closing the door on this match. Oh, it's unlucky. It's unlucky. He not want to let Anas Alic back into this one though. 4-1. Ah, well done, Chris Main, away from the table, absorbing the pressure, clipped the net a little bit of fortune, but fortune is sometimes what you need to take advantage of. It favours the brave, and he was on the attack. He's got a 5-1 lead now. That's good table tennis. I can't see Anas Alic finding an answer to this. Chris Main receiving well, counter top spinning well, creating the points well, looking solid. 1-6. Ah, it's a good exchange again, and Chris Main once again comes out on top. He's extended his lead now at 7-1, and he's slowly closing the door on his opponent, Anas Alic. Could it be that Drumchapel Glasgow take a 2-1 lead here in the overall match?
7-2.
But not to be fazed by the occasion or the score. Alic aggressive there on the flick receive. 7-2. That's a wonderful service from Chris Main. Great variation. Short reverse spin into Alic backhand. Another good spin. So in a match that had two reasonably close first games, Chris Main really grabbing this one with both hands. Leads 9-4. Loose points there, but with the lead, something he can afford to do. But he want to focus back in now here against the receive of Anas Alic. Close this match out. Reckless forehand from the Bosnian gives Chris Main 5 match points. He takes the first one. On the first call, 11-5, and that's a solid performance from Chris Main, originally from Ayrshire, been at the drum for around 10 years. Him and his brother Richard Main, found in a little hall by Terry McClernand MBE, and the pathway that he's taken now to secure a key match in the ETTU Cup here in Drumchapel Glasgow. That's 2-1 now to Drumchapel Glasgow against STK Aladza-A. So a fantastic performance in the last game by Christopher Mahan, winning 3-0. First two games were reasonably close, 11-8 and 11-9, but he steamed away in the third game. Great confidence, great serving variation and confidence on the attack. Secured it 3-0 against Anis Alic, and so that ensures that Drumchapel Glasgow take a 2-1 lead in the overall match. And on court now we have the two players who won in their matches, Feda Jezarovic for STK Aladza-A and Craig Howison for Drumchapel Glasgow. So both players already got one victory under their belts. Craig could of course secure the overall match for Drumchapel Glasgow. And Feda Jezarovic, who fought back against Scott Barton, was trailing 2-0 in that match, turned it around with a 3-2 victory. So he's a fighter to the end. Craig had a somewhat easier run in his match, winning 3-0. So fascinating stuff here at Drumrye Road, in Drumchapel, in Glasgow, in Scotland, where Group 5 is being played here of the ETTU Cup. Fixtures being played this weekend all over Europe. 8 groups in total. All teams trying to get through to round 2. In fact, groups being played in Romania, Czech Republic, Luxembourg, Serbia, Cyprus, Russia, and as I was saying, right here in Glasgow, Scotland. So it's Feda Jezarovic to get us underway. Good aggressive start there from Craig Howison. Over the table on the receive. He's got a spring in his step. He's certainly focused, motivated. Great camera angle here from the team. You just see the spin that Feda Jezarovic is putting on that ball. Watch how his wrist goes right round the ball on the reverse serve. There he is, 27 years of age. That's a nice receive from Fede Jezarevic, right down into the crossover point, or sometimes the elbow of Craig. Difficult for the Drumchapel player to move out of the way to play his own top spins.
Thank you.
Tricky serves, the Bosnian. Makes full use of them as well. So we're all even here, 4-all. Let's just have a look here at the Jezarevic serve. Watch how he uses that wrist. Oh, what a receive! Right round the backhand side. Very difficult to execute. The ball will be kicking, but he did so well there on the forehand. Craig just zips it down the line for the winner. That's good table tennis. Nice and controlled, Craig, in the receive. Generated a lot of spin there on the attacking forehand. Good table tennis.
Next one.
Crucial points, and a motivated Craig Howison there. Lets it be known within the hall, in the venue. That was an important point. 7-5. He knows he's got the Fede Jezarevic serve to come. Let's just watch how he uses the wrist here. Great angle to see the service. There we go. Nice control from Craig Howison. Always tempting when you see the topspin serve to get a little bit reckless and try to flick fast, but that was lovely control from Craig. Ah, the depth of that lob was difficult for Fede Jezarevic to get his racket over the top of it. Craig will have considered himself a little bit lucky though. 9-5 is a comfortable position to be in game one. That's a fantastic serve. I'm looking right down the barrel of that serve from where I'm sat. Difficult to see whether there's backspin on it or no spin on it. That one was backspin. Jezarevic popped it in the net. It's good table tennis from Craig Howison. Very, very solid indeed. And he secures game one, 11 points to 5. So great start there now from Craig Howison. Just keeping an eye here with my colleagues in the production team here on the tweets coming through. Sonny Chan, former colleague of mine in Belfast and for the Irish team. He currently living in Canada. Just sends his regards, says the place looks great, best of luck. So well done to the Drumchapel Glasgow team for putting on a great venue. As Craig Howison gets us underway. If you do want to get in touch with us through Twitter, just use hashtag ETTU.
1-0. Two one.
Nice receive from Craig. Gets himself back at 2-all, and now we can see his service action. Plenty of variation in the Craig Howison serve. Sometimes does the chop float action, very straight in the wrist. Sometimes uses the wrist to generate the side spin. Sometimes short, sometimes long. Great variation, of course, something that keeps your opponent on his or her toes. That's a good couple of serves from the Drumchapel player. 4-2 now. Hasn't quite found his full rhythm yet, as we know he can't, Craig, but he's very solid in and around the net here on serve receive, and it's comfortable for now. That's a good receive into the middle of the table, and an excellent backhand over the table. Just acknowledges to Feda Jezarovic that he just clipped the top of the bat on that shot. Apologises. Again, very, very solid from Craig. He's not giving Feda Jezarovic anything to go on here. We saw how dangerous Feda Jezarovic can be when he finds his rhythm. He came back like a steam train against Scott Barton. Craig Howison will be very wary of that. He needs to keep the pedal down. Another fan on Twitter, Martin Perry, in the audience with us here. He's loving the action. Thanks for the tweet, Martin. That's a good serve now from Feda Jezarovic, and Craig just needs to be very, very conscious that if Jezarovic does start to gain momentum, he is indeed dangerous. So service back to Craig. He's just taking a few extra seconds here to think through what he's going to be doing. Some lovely little serve, short and a forehand. Feda did well there to pick it up, but Craig was equal to it on the counter topspin. Good stuff. But another key point, second of two serves at 8-5. 9-5 would be nice. Oh, and another apology there from Craig. And a laugh from Jezarovic. The ball just clipped the net. No chance for the Bosnian to retrieve that one. So he's serving now at 6-9. And it really is advantage Drumchapel Glasgow right here. Craig very controlled on the block there. He's got two serves. He's 4 game points, 10-6. It's one saved by Feda Jezarovic. We know he's a fighter. We've seen him in action here already earlier this afternoon. Change of tactic by Howison's clever. Switches to the backhand serve. Just clips the net. Was agonizingly close to drifting off the end of the table. He doesn't want that, Craig. Jezarovic will eat that invitation up, I think. That's a nice serve though, nice and short, and a great third ball. 11 points to 7. Well played, Craig Howison. Solid table tennis, and he's looking good here. Can he secure a victory for Drumchapel Glasgow? in this Group 5 Round 1 opening match here in Drumchapel. That's 11-5 and 11-7 to take a 2-0 lead.
Herzegovina to serve, level.
So Craig Howison stating his intent here, leading 2-0 and 1-0. Great opening point. Oh, and a confident return on the Yazarevic serve. Just couldn't convert the counter topspin. May just have taken an awkward bounce on that one. But Craig Howison has the opportunity here to see Drumchapel Glasgow off to a superb start in this group of the ETTU Cup. A cup that was launched in 1964, so we're nearly 50 years into the ETTU Cup. Was called the Nancy Evans Cup for a period. And is the second highest rating European club competition in table tennis behind the Champions League. Has been dominated by many German teams over the years. Germany obviously one of the formidable nations in European and actually now world table tennis, winning 2 bronze medals at the Olympic Games in London last year. And of course the excitement in the very city that we're sat in Glasgow, building for the Commonwealth Games next year to continue on that legacy work from the Olympics and Paralympics. And that's a nice parallel backhand from Craig Howison. Difficult to return, was always a tactic of mine. Play spinny backhand parallel. Difficult for the right-handed forehand to control it. He didn't have serves like that though. That's a super serve from Craig, loaded with backspin. Gives him a 2-point cushion here in game 3. Oh, he's called timeout, Fede Yazarevic. I would say that's because he'll know that was a sitter. He served well, he served long topspin, gave himself the opportunity to accelerate, missed it, and the difference between 4-5 and 3-6 is huge at this stage of the match. And so Fede Yazarevic calls for the timeout. We have to be careful here to make too many assumptions, because the last time Fede Yazarevic took a timeout, it was in game 3 against Scott Barton when he trailed 2-0. He trails 2-0 here. He's taken timeout, but let's just see if Craig Howison can close the door. It's a good point to win after a timeout. And with serve, 7-3.
7-4.
Again, variation in serves proven to be crucial here. Well done, Craig Howison. Very easy for players in the big moment and big matches to just switch the brain off and not think about tactics and the variation and the things that have to be done to win a match. But Craig is doing it exceptionally well here. Solid top spinning stuff from the Drumchapel Glasgow player. And he's closing in on a 3-0 victory, and in fact he will secure 2 3-0 victories. Very comprehensive performance. He's 10-4, he's got 2 serves, he's got 6 match points. Oh, entertaining stuff. Back from the barrier. Great to see 2 players enjoying each other's entertainment there. Another smile from Fede Jezarevic. He dropped the drop shot, but it wasn't that low, and he shouts "chaw" to the crowd with a smile. He saved 1 match point. Can he save 5 more? No, he can't. 11-5. Craig Howison secures this match 3 games to 0. Great performance by him in both of his singles matches. Both players go to the opposite teams to shake hands, or as customary now, just simply high fives. And that ensures a victory for Drumchapel Glasgow against STK Aladza-A 3-1. So a great start for the home team in front of a fantastically energetic crowd here who want to see their team qualify for round 2 as highly as possible. So action back on court. Scott Barton off to a great start. First point. And the opponent in the reverse singles here, Amir Muftic. Both these players lost their opening singles in this match. So always interesting to see how players in that situation come back and bounce back, or how they react. What will their mental state be? Of course, the match won by Drumchapel Glasgow 3-1. So the victory already secured for the home side. But out of the interest of the travelling fans and of course the travelling teams just agreeing to play out all of the matches here. So this is indeed the last match. It doesn't count for the overall match, but it's extra table tennis action for us, the fans. So tight start here in game one, 4-5. I hope you're enjoying the coverage of the ETTU Cup here from Drumchapel Glasgow. All the streaming, the technology and the expertise provided by ETTU. Fantastic gear to have at the side of the arena to be able to beam these pictures all over the world through the Drumchapel Glasgow website. Good work from Jack, Seth and Andy. Oh, and both players maybe just switching into entertainment mode in a match, as I say, that doesn't have an impact on the overall match score. So maybe a little bit of smashing and lobbing for the crowd. But nonetheless, both players will want to secure victory. Builds on the confidence, especially when you're here for a full weekend's competition. Every match crucial. And of course we are at the start of the season here. It is September. Table tennis season usually starting in August. So for many of these players, this is the first big competition that they'll have been entered into. And clearly then something that they want to play well in to ensure that they start the season well and build their own confidence. So once again, get in touch with us at hashtag ETTU. You see it on the screen there. We're picking up the tweets. And just a reminder that we'll be back at 7 o'clock this evening for the second match. It'll be once again the home team. Drumchapel Glasgow will take on the Austrian side, UTTF Raiffeisenligist. So be here for that one. And then tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. the Austrian side will be taking on the Bosnian side. So lots of table tennis to look forward to. Meanwhile, I think we're just about to see Scott Barton secure the first game, 11 points to 7. So a good start from Scott there, 11-7. And that'll do his confidence a world of good. He did play very well in the first of his matches, and he just missed out overall. Again, this is the fifth match, and in the previous match, the fourth match, the match that secured the overall match for Drumchapel Glasgow, there we go, Craig Howison eased past Fede Jezarevic 3-0, 11-5, 11-7 and 11-5 as the home fans here in Drumchapel once again get behind their man. So Scott Barton 11-7 in the first as we get underway in the second. Wonderful serve. And strong forehands to follow up. One with spin, one with speed. Great play from the left-hander. He looks in the mood to notch up his first victory here. He won't have been happy to have lost that first one, but he was playing well. A lot of positive to take from it. Oh, smooth backhand there from Amir Muftic. We've seen that from certainly two of the three Bosnian players. Very competent on the backhand side. Oh, we saw 4 different shots there from Amir in that rally. On the backhand side, a touch on the receive, a block, a spinny backhand, and then a power backhand. So great technique, great timing. And so maybe time for Scott to exploit the forehand side. Just like that, beautiful play. Stylishly done. Oh, super table tennis and high fives once again. Amir Muftic appreciative of Scott's control there. Read that ball beautifully. Reminds me of the legendary Jan-Ove Waldner. Of course, what a legend in the game he was. Just the way he played that shot. In fact, actually appeared in this very hall a couple of years ago with Jorgen Persson when Terry McClernon, MBE, alongside Jimmy from Skyform, arranged for the two legends to come to Drumchapel to inspire the youngsters. And Scott in a very strong position here, receiving at 4-8, 4-9 now. Second game, leads a game to 0. And a second miss ball from Amir Muftic. So it's 10-4 now, 6 game points for Scott. And he secures it on the first call of asking. 11 points to 4. Positive body language there once again in the Drumchapel Glasgow corner. But Amir Muftic isn't for handing this game on a plate to Scott Barton. He's got off to a flyer in game 3, 4-0. And of course the psychology in sport, so important. Scott won't want to reflect upon the last match. I'm sure he's nowhere near that in his mind. He's playing very well, serving well, attacking well. He'll stay in that zone. Oh, it's wonderful table tennis again. The wide forehand from Scott. Amr got out there and counter top spun it, but he was out of position. Allowed Scott Barton to just block it down the gap in the table. Super stuff. Ah, it's great top spinning away from the table from both players. And somehow Amr Muftic seems to have relaxed a little bit here. He's now serving at 6-1 in game 3. That's a nice spinny flick. Difficult for Amr to time that one well enough. Just top edges, 7-4. He went for the fade again. Unlucky. Has proven successful so far, but just mistimed that one. Back to the serve now. 4-8.
4-9.
So Amr Muftic comes back to secure game 3, 11-4. Nice performance there. Looked a little bit more relaxed, Amr, in that one. Free-flowing backhands, is that a sign of things to come? He's obviously got nothing really to lose. Scott just needs to be back on his guard. Just watching Terry McLernan giving some advice. Actions of intensity, so I'm suggesting that he's saying get your serve in tight, get in behind it strongly. Let's stay solid, secure each and every we move forward. So Amr Muftic to serve. Scott Barton requiring one game to secure this match. That would make the overall match score 4-1 for Drumchapel Glasgow, but of course in the competition will be registered as a 3-1 victory. And 2 points in the bag. And Scott really off the mark here. That's exactly the actions I saw Terry give as he coached him at the break there. Great serve, great attacking play. So Amr Muftic maybe just having a little bit of difficulty with the serves. Scott needs to take advantage of that, vary them, follow the win with strong top spins, take the initiative. That's well constructed. He was waiting for the one to accelerate on, it didn't quite come. Instead it was an error from Amr Muftic. And so it's now 6-1 for Scott Barton. Nice variation, fast top spin serve, cross court this time. there from Scott, very fast across the court, opened the shoulders, very fast accelerating arm. Wonderful shot, 9-1. He looks to be in the clear here. Great big forehand again, 10-1. 9 match points for Scott Barton. There it is, 11-1. A 3-1 victory for Scott Barton. Means that it's an overall match victory, 4 matches to 1 for Drumchapel Glasgow, but again registered as 3-1 in the ETTU Cup in this round 1 group 5. So that concludes the first match here as the players just shake hands, coaches as well, and we look forward now to tonight's fixture. Which will be coming up at 7 p.m. So we'll just take a short break and then I'll come straight back just to summarise the outcome of that match for those of you who want to see the details and keep the stats on the scores. But for now, see you in 2. So just to conclude, that final match there was then a victory for Drumchapel Glasgow overall 4-1. So just to go back to the matches in individual order, just to recap for you, the audience. First match up was Scott Barton against Feda Jezarevic, and there we have the scores on screen. It was a comeback from Jezarevic to finally win that 3-2. So that gave the team from Bosnia a 1-0 lead here. Match 2 up then was Craig Howison from Drumchapel Glasgow, and he defeated reasonably comfortably Amer Muftic of STK Aladza-A. So that levelled the score at 1 match all. The third match then was all for Chris Main, and he came right into the fold. 2 difficult games to start with, 11-8, 11-9, but sailed through game 3 against Anis Alic. That then made it 2-1 for Drumchapel Glasgow. And then it was Craig Howison who defeated Feda Jezarevic 3-0 very comprehensively indeed, and that made the overall match for this particular group 3-1 for Drumchapel Glasgow. So at that point here in proceedings, that was the match secure for Drumchapel Glasgow, but we did continue on because the crowd have travelled in and the teams have travelled here, so we played all of the matches, and there we have on screen the 5th and final singles of that match, and it was Scott Barton who came through in the end very clearly in game 4, 11-1, and that secured a 3-1 victory, which made the formal score again for the round 1 group 5 record as 3-1. But I'm sure the local fans here will enjoy the fact that it may well have been 4-1, and in fact was 4-1 here within the hall, but for the formalities it was 3-1. So we look forward to the next match, which will be at 7 p.m. here local time in Drumchapel Glasgow, so in about 2.5 hours time, and that'll be Drumchapel Glasgow versus UTTF Raiffeisenligist. And there, as you see on screen, please get in touch, send us your comments and views at hashtag ETTU. We are live on Twitter here, and we will be able to give a shout out if you get in touch. But for now, take care and see you soon.